live.
Oh.
I said go live before. Oh, my Lord. All right. Now we're on.
Hi.
Can people hear?
Who's here? Anyone here? Ooh. We're live from the Arkaba.
Yes. Young Bean can hear.
Hey, Young Bean. Oh, my fringe. What's going on with that?
We've had a late out, unfortunately.
Yeah, Dan's laid out, but
yeah,
we'll talk.
All right. Shall we just kick this off? Are you good?
I mean, yeah.
I feel so unorganised.
Don't know what's going on, but let's roll with it. .9 win for episode 91. Yes, Crowies. Welcome to Here We Crow. It's nice to be able to finally celebrate a absolute stomping win by the Adelaide Crows this week.
Stomping win.
Stomping win for episode 91. As I said, welcome Sam.
Hello, Lauren.
Hello, welcome Ben.
Thanks, Lauren.
Dan is a late out.
A very late out.
Mentioned just before.
Very much a Geelong style late out, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Scott.
So I'm sure he's streaming live.
He would be.
He's got a cast to the TV,
absolutely.
hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, we will be discussing the victory against the West Coast Eagles tonight. And, you know, this is going to be the same old stuff except really disorganised because we have no idea what we're doing. But we may pose you a question.
Yes.
We're going to pose a question later on.
We want some answers.
Yeah, we want answers. We want your feedback and opinions.
Also, we're at the Arkaba tonight. We got a new studio
live from the Arkaba.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for having us, Arkaba Hotel. The TA ditched us.
They did. Yeah, they've got a journaling society in tonight.
That is very important.
Yeah.
So I can see why they took precedent.
I gave Jake a lot of shit today, and he was like, "They've had a running booking for about 10 years, so they might have beaten our 3 days." But
yes,
yeah,
rather important.
Sorry,
before
Jake.
Is it too late for me to head over to the journaling?
You can. You certainly can.
Look,
excellent.
Ben, before you head off to the journaling, would you mind giving us some stats for number 91, please?
I just wanted to point out that Vardy said it's very brown. Yes, that's the very browny red is the Arkaba. Yep. Unfortunately,
I'm trying to liven it up a little bit, Vardy.
Yeah, actually, I turned up I did actually make it a little bit more yellow because that light's really white. So I changed the white balance on the camera. Maybe I do need to
technical.
Flick it back.
Oh, look, he's doing it now.
Oh, there we
live.
go.
This is live, people.
Yep.
This is live and interactive.
We've got the thatched Balinese roof in here.
Yeah, it is quite
tropical.
It is. I actually like this atmosphere a little bit better than the loft. Yeah, I'm sorry, TA Hotel. You never love me. We'll be back.
Our house when we lived in Hobart had a strange little room that the roof was done with the bamboo thatching in, that little tiny room.
Was it like a sunroom? Or
it was a semi-sunroom that they just put on, and it also had like a wall that was like a mirror, but it was plastic with little bubbles in it.
Oh.
I think the previous owners were very proud of the room. Okay. And we did not keep it that way for very long.
That's a shame. Yeah, it's kind of like corporate Bali hut. That's what I'm getting from this room.
It is nice here. We need to watch. Did you go into the sports bar? Oh, it is nice here.
Yeah, I did. And the dartboards in there.
Yeah, electronic dartboards.
Are they electronic? Because I actually almost brought my darts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your own darts?
I just carry them around. Yeah. Just in case I go to a pub with a dartboard.
Do you also take your own little pool cue whenever you play it?
No, I'm not that.
Get real serious. You've got her own 10-pin bowling ball as well.
No, well, you know, I used to work at a pub and my partner is into darts and he got me some darts so we could play darts when we went to the pub.
Yeah.
You know, and once he bought me a beautiful set of darts and then we went to Tasmania and I forgot they were in my backpack and I got pulled up in security and I had to put them in the bin. Mm-hmm. What a shame. Anyway, Ben, carry on.
Clark did say if those walls could talk, and that's a very good call. Yes, this place has seen some interesting evenings over the years.
Definitely has. Ben, 91, hit us.
Yeah, I won't leave you in suspense any longer. So 91. So obviously we'll get to the fact that 1991 was a special year for the Crows. But first of all, our 91 debut player was Andrew Eccles.
Right.
Oh my God. Andrew Eccles, blue eyes.
Yep. 98 to 2001. Played just the 41 games with us. But was our youngest premiership player at 19 back in 98. And
Wow.
at this stage remains our youngest premiership player. all these years later.
Wow.
Fantastic.
So, yep. He was later traded to Carlton, just had another 13 games, I think, with them, but had a lot of injuries that made his career a little bit shorter than he would have liked.
That's a shame.
So, yeah.
Poor Andrew.
Now, so as I said, 1991, first year for the Crows in the AFL. I had a look at some 91 stats from 1991, and I came up with Andrew Pays.
Oh, yeah.
Had 91 disposals,
Right.
and that's all I came up with.
Andrew Pays.
Andrew Pays
Crows player.
from 1991.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember him.
No.
Do you remember him?
Well, he had 91 possessions in a whole season, so
Yeah, okay.
back
I
in
don't
91,
remember this
so
person.
Yeah.
not well. But I thought special occasion, I'll try something a little bit different again today with
Ooh.
the stats. So
Is it a
Oh, here we
quiz?
go.
it is a quiz.
Oh, quiz.
It's it's how well do you know your 1991 quiz.
Okay.
I'll start
Not looking.
semi-easy and see how we go. So surely you know our first win.
Hawthorn.
Yep. And from my stats from a few weeks ago, we won by
91.
87.
86. Oh, 91.
Oh, we episode 91. I thought this was the 91.
No, from a few
Oh,
weeks
that was
ago.
1991.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Anyway,
Oh, God.
what
I'm bad at this already.
what position did we finish on the ladder that year?
Oh, no idea.
Oh,
Have a guess.
15th.
12th.
9th.
Oh,
How many teams do you reckon were in the comp back then?
Oh, I can't remember.
16.
15.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
we're 9th
Oh,
of
so I was
15.
like, we had
Yeah.
the spoon? No.
Yep. So, all right, you guys doing really well.
Come on,
should have
Ben. I
opened-
was 6 years old in 1991.
We should have opened this up to Vardy.
I-
Vardy's talking about, he said Andrew Pays was his childhood hero.
Oh.
Played for Torrens.
Well, there you go.
And he was on the Crows board.
Oh, very good.
So Vardy's got
wow.
way more info than you did.
I bet
This
he-
is off the cuff.
I bet he didn't know he had 91 disposals. Club champion first year.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know that.
Sean Wren.
No, it was Mark Micken.
Oh,
Okay.
And Mark Micken taught at the school that I went to primary school where he taught.
Wow.
yeah, right.
How about
It's
that?
easy to say that now, but I feel like I have heard that. Or I
Yeah.
did
The
know
runner
at
up
one
was
stage.
Tony McGuinness.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're nearly done.
Thank God.
We'll see if we get one right.
Lizzie just wrote it here before she wants me home.
Who do you think was our leading goal kicker?
Modra? No, he wasn't even there, was he?
In 91.
God, we are shit at this. We should wait and see if people in the chat get it. I don't think they're that far behind us. Jamison?
Hodges.
It was Rod Jamison.
Oh,
yeah.
well done, Vardy.
Yeah.
Vardy.
Oh, Josh got it as
too.
well.
How many goals do you reckon he kicked?
Why aren't we're so bad at this? What?
Well, how
I'm
many
just
goals?
saying names. I don't remember.
Ben should have learned his lesson from the last quiz that we don't know what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Well, I wouldn't actually done any better because when we came in, I was living in a different country, so
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I missed our first year or two.
And I was quite young too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know. But
Yeah, you're pretty young. Well, we kicked 49. That was our leading goal kicker for that year.
Yeah.
Oh, well
Last-
done.
yeah,
Quirky
if you-
and Callum both
Yeah,
got
well
that.
done. If
Oh,
you
there
guys
you
got
go.
those off the cuff, that's very
Yeah,
impressive.
I hope you weren't
All right.
Googling.
Last question. Well, I googled, so
You're allowed.
from what I read, we had one All Australian in the team for the year.
Mm.
Who do you reckon that was?
Oh, we should know this. Could you have at least not told us you were going to give us a 91 quiz?
No,
Would have been handy. I probably should have picked it.
pre-googled.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got no idea. I really don't know much about that. I was 4.
Were you?
I was born in 87.
Jesus.
Chris McDermott.
No, it was Nigel Smart.
Oh, right.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Smart. Someone.
see,
Callum got it.
I was like, half of the players I was thinking, I was like, were they even in the first squad? Or am I thinking like kind of beyond that? Like
Yeah.
92, 93, when I could actually probably remember
Yeah.
the players?
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, that's our quiz. So it's a draw. Sam and
Callum
Lauren.
got it again. He got
Callum got it.
Nigel Smart. Well
Yeah,
done.
well done.
Well done, Callum.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So last bit was just the born in 91. So we've got
yep.
a few players going from reverse games order.
You don't want to do this as a quiz?
Lizzie would appreciate that, I reckon.
if you like. And I'm not going to give you the answers. I'm going to wait till you guys get all of these guys. So
Go get another beer in between.
So Lewis Johnson, Aidan Riley,
Oh, yeah.
someone we're up
I
against
didn't
this.
mind Aidan Riley.
Someone
Was
we're up
alright.
against this week.
Gunston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Jack Gunston. Luke Thompson. Yeah, the most of our games are all defenders. So Luke Thompson, Sam Shaw,
Yep.
Kyle Hardigan, and Daniel Talia.
Yeah, right. Okay.
there
Yeah,
you
that
go.
is a very, that's a
Defense
weird
heavy.
Defensive list.
Yeah.
How weird's that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got rid of the forward and send him off to Hawthorn.
Yeah, that's right. How strange. Okay. Interesting. No,
There
well
you
done,
go.
Ben. That was
Thank
good.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Lovely.
Do we do
What's
this?
pumping us up?
Cool drinks.
Anything pumping you up, Sam?
I'm going to the footy this weekend.
At the MCG?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm driving over with Maggie. Maggie's 7 weeks old. I think
Yeah, it
it's gonna
sounds like
kick
a
off.
really comfortable time frame you've set yourself.
Oh, we
as
have.
well.
Yeah, we can't leave until Saturday morning, very early. So it's also the early afternoon game. So
Oh my gosh.
What
Yeah, we're
could
leaving
possibly go
very
wrong?
early.
Good old 8 to 10 hour drive with a young one
yep.
to a game for the
Yeah.
You're insane.
Good luck with that
Have
one.
a great time.
Thank you. Yeah, young Bean's going too, and I reckon.
Oh, nice.
I reckon Pete of Pete Pizza's fame is going too. So this might be a few of us there. We
Love
should
it.
find out which bays we're going to be in. Oh, young Bean's in Victoria. That makes a lot of sense.
That does
Right
make
up.
sense.
Yeah.
Well, see him
Yeah,
there.
that's it.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get the win.
Hopefully. So
Ben, anything pumping you up?
Yeah, a couple things on Friday last week. So I went for a kick of the footy on Friday. Haven't done that
What?
for ages.
Wow.
I really enjoy kicking a football.
That's good.
And I tell you what, I still have a portion of it.
Oh, you've got it.
A
little bit?
A portion
Just
of
a
it.
little bit.
The old distance has dropped.
Well, I think this now that tonight Crowcast, we're up against Crowcast tonight. This is where let's put them to the challenge, and I say Crowcast, let's do this kickoff challenge.
Particularly if my distance keeps dropping at this rate, I need to do it soon.
And I think we should talk to the club and maybe somehow get the club involved in this.
Yeah,
I'm putting
we
it
do.
out there.
Yeah.
Crowcast, answer this call. If you're up for it, we'll do the goal kicking competition.
Do we do a bit of a just around the arc at a certain distance, or what? How do you reckon we do it?
I'm not sure how the actual proponents of it will work yet, Ben, but
right.
we can work that out maybe later.
Yeah.
Strict negotiations and the rulings and whatnot.
Well, I think there would be, yeah, but I feel like this could be a battle for the ages. Maybe we'll get some of the other podcasts involved.
Yeah, we could do that. We got Anthony just out here from
Yeah.
the project. We can get him on.
Look, if you guys are down,
Yeah.
let's do that. I could have kicked that challenge. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Nathan, that's what we should do.
Nathan, there was a bit. I thought there was a touch of just Phoenix sort of how good am I about Ben before with these comments. Still got it.
No,
Yeah.
no, I said a portion of it,
Anything, yeah, Harley Reid.
and I don't have it for very long.
Also, I just want to put this out there. I won't be kicking any footballs in this competition.
It's an idea. Your idea.
It's my idea. I'll be hosting the
Okay.
event. Okay, that's
All right.
that's the deal,
You're on
because
the mic.
I've broken too many bones in my life to
your finger. Yeah,
be doing
thumb or
any
finger?
all of it.
Yeah.
Wrist,
But
thumb.
anyway, that was just half of my pump up.
Oh,
so
so here we
this
go.
was my Friday. So I did
let's
that.
get your other one, Ben.
And then that night, had myself a slow cooked lamb leg in red wine, rosemary, bit of stock. Cook it for 5 hours. Spectacular.
Stop it.
You're saying this to someone who's hungry.
I have not had.
I've just eaten like 7 Mentos.
We have a half of our adults in the house are vegetarian, so I have not done that for a long time. So that was a very, very
delicious.
exciting meal.
Yeah.
I
Had
actually-
that with made a salsa verde with parsley and mint from the garden and lemon from the garden, and some rosemary buttery sort of roast potatoes as well.
Ben,
Are you going to tell
Very
us?
tasty.
Are you going to tell us how good it was? Just to
It was better than my kicking abilities, I'll tell you that.
wow,
It was amazing.
very high.
Yeah. Spectacular. Oh, and then the next day you have it on rolls.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Fantastic.
Listen to him.
fuck.
Yeah, I don't think you realise
gonna
how long it
cry.
is since I've had something like that. So
Cry. Ben, I'll have you know I cooked a lamb shoulder last night, so at least I've had my fix of lamb this week. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
it's quite an affordable meat at the moment.
Yeah.
This was like $9.90 a kilo.
Far out. Well, yum.
How about that?
Might have to get some lamb shanks soon. What's pumping me up? I went to see Air, the band Air, play their album Moon Safari at the Sydney Opera House on the weekend, and I've got to say that was incredible. So glad I did that. I went all on my own. Do you know how weird it is going to a gig like that on your own? And I was also sandwiched between two like loved up couples, so it made it even weirder. Anyway, that was great. But the other thing that's pumping me up, and I'll be very quick with this because she'll think it's hilarious that I'm mentioning it, but my friend Shertan released a book recently and it's called Peripathetic. It's a collection of long form essays that she's written, and it's basically about kind of like living a life in reality, but also living on the internet and like your internet persona and how those things intersect. And it's about being a punk and working shit jobs and kind of being anti-work. And it's a lot of reflection on her life and how she's kind of navigated through her time online and offline. And yeah, it's really interesting. So if you're into that kind of thing,
Cool.
it's a really good read.
So not a hit piece on Sargent Perry.
No, it is not, unfortunately. It's not Crows related whatsoever, which is why she'll think it's hilarious that I'm plugging her book on this podcast. But Shertan Peripathetic, if that is up your alley. Let's talk about the game.
The game. You're right.
Yay!
Yay. I would do the horn again, but let's be honest, it was West Coast didn't turn up, did they?
No, they did not. And I did tweet that how good is it when we're playing average teams?
Yeah.
Because we got to play the football we wanted to play
Yeah.
with no pressure at
Yeah.
all.
And old mate Captain Boring just loves it when he knows the result in the first 10 minutes.
Oh, so relaxing. I haven't seen a win all year. Jeez.
Yeah, it's fair.
It was
That's
very
fair.
nice to just sit there knowing that we had it. And the fact that we just took it away at the start of the game, squashed any enthusiasm they would have had to fight back, and
Yeah.
just watch the rest in peace.
Watching the replay, it really was like, what's that buzzing? Everyone was just, witches' hats. That buzzing's really putting me off.
Yeah.
What is it?
Go now.
Hello?
Oh.
Oh, dear. Anyway,
You could try the other microphone.
we'll continue. Better.
There
I
we
think.
go. It was the power. There
Yep.
we go. We fixed it.
Anywho, it was like a bit of a clinic, wasn't it? It was like it was watching a fancy training, basically.
Yeah, that first quarter, Dawson just took the piss, didn't he? There was multiple times where he was just running just absolutely unchallenged through the middle. That was literally like training drill against the B's or C's grade football team. Some of those plays, like he's obviously very good. Don't get me wrong, but you just don't get to play like that against a good side that's switched on.
No, well, I think that's where, we look like a very good team if we're not under a lot of pressure. So,
Yes.
I think, yes, we got to play like the way we'd like to play and smashed them.
Yes.
So the stats sort of bear that out. Like, we had, 409 possessions there, 264, and a large portion of that was like 269 uncontested to 145. So, just had so much time with the ball, and it meant like our disposal efficiency was sitting at 79.5, nearly cracked 80 for efficiency. So
there was no pressure, was there?
Well, that's why it's so high.
Yeah.
And then even marks wise, we were like 134 to 78.
Yeah.
Just massive.
They were just letting
comparatively.
us chip it around so easily. Like there was just absolutely no defensive effort there whatsoever. I would be, I didn't watch the game that they played against Melbourne last week, but I think a lot of us were thinking this could be the game where we kind of get embarrassed because they're coming off of a good game. Like that's how traumatized we are as Crows fans. That we were like, if this would be such a Crows thing to lose this game.
Yeah.
But they absolutely did not show up at all, and we just got to play our game. easily. And what a spread of goal kickers as well. Like everyone had a crack. At one point it just felt like they were just taking the piss.
Yeah.
And particularly when you think Rankin's out, who's been one of our more consistent forwards for a long time this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird game. I didn't end up going in person, so I watched it on TV and had to listen to Dwayne Pipe bang on about Harley Reid every chance he got.
They didn't happen to mention him a lot on the broadcast, did they?
Just a touch, yeah. One time it was Harley Reid v Crows was the game, according to Dwayne.
Yeah,
so,
it was a little bit obsessive there. Like, towards the end, especially, like they're getting thumped. I think they were complimentary to the Crows, but like Dawson's having the game of his life out there. Like, show some respect. Luke Nankervis, like, what a gun. And they kind of said like he's growing into a player before our eyes. All right, well, put your eyes on him and talk about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just all the expectation of what Harley was going to do, which I get it. He's an amazing player, and I was really excited to see him play.
Yeah.
On the day, but. You got to be a little bit better than that.
Yeah, well, like Quirky says, he was kind of looked like he was the only one trying sometimes. So yeah, it kind of was. What kind of was Crows versus Harley there for a fair bit of it. Surely he's going to get sick of being there, isn't he? He's just going to jump at the first giant Victorian offer. They're going to probably pay him $2 million a year, and he'll jump for sure.
You a Sam McClure apologist, sir?
No, I just don't like. There is going to be a club just going to throw stupid money at him, I would say. And he's going to jump at it. But anyway, that's besides the point, of course. Obviously, Lauren was very excited with Lockie Scholl's game.
Oh, my gosh.
Which, very good. But also, can he play a game like that against a good team that's putting some pressure on? I loved what Vardy.
Come on, let him have his moment.
I know. Like, and I like Scholly, but like what Vardy said, always thought Scholl would be great as someone employed to go to schools and teach skills and do tricks like the track-suited yo-yo exhibitionists of the 80s. And yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it? Because he's got plenty of skill. He just doesn't do that. And we don't expect, how many disposals did he have?
34. He had the most out of anyone. He got more than Dawson even.
I don't expect him to have 34 against a good team, but 24 good disposals against a good team would be great, but he doesn't quite do that.
No, he has done a few things this year that he wasn't doing in previous seasons. Like there's been a couple times where he has ran back with the flight and taken some pretty good, like, courageous marks where that would have been a hit on him as a player. So I think there's been signs that he's done more diverse, tougher things than he has in previous years.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think like his defensive pressure isn't amazing, and he struggles to lay a tackle at times because he is a wiry rabbit.
Well, he's endurance, not speed, so he doesn't chase people down, and he can be chased down.
That's right. But I think his ball use is so elite, like that's just why he keeps his spot in the side, and he'll be keeping it for a little while longer, I reckon.
Yeah. He was good.
I got to say, like, there wasn't, I didn't think anyone really had a bad game. Even Rob and Murphy. But, like, I didn't really think that there was any passengers. I thought even Smith was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, he was all right. Rob got a ton of hit-outs, but he always was against the Eagles ruckman. I can't even remember who it is. But did bugger all around the ground again.
Clunking him in the forward 50.
Yeah, one. Was it one?
And then I think it was 2 minutes later he was roving in the forward 50 and couldn't quite finish off his work.
Still 3 marks though against a side that was showing that don't have the height or the pressure to challenge him. It's still pretty shit for the amount of times we would have hit him up.
Yeah, but who did get a few marks? Darcy Fogarty. Yeah, where's the fog watch button?
Oh, do you want to find it? Oh,
you might as well. What a game from the big fog man.
Yeah, he was great.
Absolutely. Yeah. That link-up work he's doing at the moment is like absolutely mammoth. And clunking marks, like really using his body properly. Like what? I don't know what changed. Because he's like, he was kind of nowhere for a minute. He knew his form was down, but like something's just clicked in him and he's just really, really making it work. I don't know if it's just because he's like playing higher up the ground and that kind of suits him a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's almost like they've just given him a bit of a license to run, which was that just a fitness thing before and he's always had the license, just didn't have the tank to do it and now he does.
Maybe not. Yeah, but yeah, the fact that he's linking play as well as kicking goals. It's makes him a much more valuable player.
Massively more valuable player, and especially with a few fairly quiet weeks from Texan. It's been critical.
And if he's up the ground, he's more likely to, like previous games earlier in the season, Fogg, you'd barely know who was on the field.
Yeah.
Whereas at least now, even if he's getting involved for much longer in the game, and he's got good skills if he gets the ball.
Yeah.
Even at the start of the year, we were worried that Fogg was going to drop right off again, like we have in previous seasons. So.
Certainly, gives you a bit more confidence in him, especially if he can keep it up over the next little while. Hendo's just written in the chat, Shoal, averaging 31.5 touches against West Coast and North Melbourne and 15.7 against everyone else.
Yeah,
two of those were sub-affected though, to be fair.
Yeah, I hadn't done the stats, Hendo, but that's what I had in my head. And yeah, look, it's fine if those 15, 16 are very are quality disposals, but 16 in his role is not enough, in my opinion.
Maybe. And the other player that really came about this week was Chase Jones. He's kind of he had a few kind of low weeks, and I actually said to Ben when we were in the crowd on Sunday, I was like, do you think this will be the week that Jones gets dropped? And then he went on to kick 3 goals.
Yeah.
So massive game from him as well.
He was good. 3 goals was good. He kicked a couple of snap goals, which was nice to see.
Yep.
I don't know if that was did he just go forward? Did we move him forward? Were we just playing around because we had such a massive lead? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he found himself in the forward 50 like that, but maybe just had no one chasing him and he thought, oh well, give it a go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I think the unluckiest player in our team was probably Cook. There was a couple of times, particularly late, where he just got burnt. He was a great option and ball did not go his way.
No, it didn't. And then that one right on the final siren, he could have probably kicked that if there were another 3 seconds to go.
We win by 99 points and he's looking dejected, he's having a really tough last quarter.
Yeah, it sort of matched the commentary though, because the commentators seem to be really wanting us to get over 100 points for some reason. So yeah, on the I don't know if you guys haven't obviously watched the replay.
No, I did actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're kind of barracking. So his dejectedness almost matched their disappointment that we didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that was kind of funny.
Well, I don't know what else to say. I thought it was a great game. I thought heaps of players played well. We'll probably talk more about them in the votes. You got anything else, Ben?
Not really.
Sam?
Oh, look, just to say that I think it's another one of those games like the Carlton game earlier in the year. Obviously, the Carlton game was a much better win. I'm not going to compare the two teams. Carlton are a much better team than West Coast are, but if we don't win this week, unfortunately beating the Eagles at home by 99 points means absolutely jack all. So, it's another huge game this week for our season if we think we're going to continue on.
Massive, yeah.
Look, always good to see a win, and hopefully what they did play around. Like, it looked like Chase Jones played up the field. Looked like he even started. I think he started in the middle a couple of times. It looked like he claimed a centre clearance, so I'm assuming he started in the middle. It was nice to see. I wish we didn't have to be up by 10 goals plus for us to play around with the.
We started playing a bit fancy as well once we were really in the lead, which and starting to not handball to ground instead of players and stuff, which we can't do if we're under pressure. That's where we were getting into trouble earlier in the season.
I think that says everything, doesn't it? It's just one of those games where we don't really learn anything. It's West Coast obviously beat Melbourne the week before, but didn't show up in this game at all. And it was a comprehensive victory. But yeah.
Oh, well, I did want to mention too, it was really awesome to see Hazza back out there.
Yeah, that was
great.
He
had a really good game.
He was good. It was sort of like the perfect game to wind yourself back in, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And hopefully with that will, even though, like we said, West Coast didn't really show up. It was kind of an average display from them.
Yeah.
It was a great display from us, and I hope that really gives them confidence going into this next game for sure.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, actually. You can't say that we didn't play well. So, it's good.
All right, well, let's get on with some votes then, shall we? If everyone doesn't have this man for 3 votes, I'll be surprised. Jordan Dawson, anyone?
Yes. No, he's there.
I think so. I think particularly that first quarter where he basically set us up for the win when the pressure was on.
Yeah, right.
Not in that bloody third quarter, geez. All those frees against, you saw my matchup. I was within 1 point, then I was about 16 points off. And then
the timer's not on.
Then he came back.
Ben, no. You can't go into that.
The timer's not on.
No.
Geez, that was like 10 seconds worth, guys.
Yeah. No, stay off it, Ben.
All right, Ben. Well, who have you got for 2 votes?
Fogarty, I think just some goals and playing that connector role.
Yeah, weird. I've got him too. What about you, Sam?
Yep, made that 3.
All right. Well, I reckon our 1 vote might change some things. Sam, who have you got?
I actually haven't got one yet because I don't know. I don't know who
You
I want to
don't
give it to. Oh well, like you could give it to Scholl. He was great in the game, but again, I'm like critical about like how he goes about it. I thought.
Yeah, but it's votes for the game, not for the season.
Yeah, I know. I know. All right, I'll just give it to him then.
All right, Ben.
I also went with Scholl.
Okay, well, I actually didn't. I actually went with Chase Jones.
What?
Yeah. I know Sholly had all the disposals and everything, but Chase got the 3 goals and he also had 4 tackles, so I'm giving it to him.
Nice. He played well.
Hi, I'm Tyson Edwards.
You're such a quiet achiever.
All right, this one might also be different, I'm assuming. Sholly was in my special mentions. Ben, who have you got for your Tyson Edwards quiet achiever?
Lockie Scholl. And I'm quite glad that Dan's not here.
Oh, so he's gone to vote and quite achieved.
Well, you tell me what happened at the game. I said to you, how many possessions do you reckon Scholl got today?
And I said, 17 or something?
Yep. Dan said, maybe 14, 18. And it was 34.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy. He did quietly do it,
and
didn't
we
he?
had no idea.
Yep.
So maybe it's our eyesight.
That's why he was almost in my quiet achiever.
And I still say, nowhere in our 40-page document on the quiet achievers criteria does it say that you can't get votes in both sections.
Oof.
Look, he's not wrong.
I don't like it though. It's against the spirit of the
I
award.
think
It's
it's
funny
well and
how he's
truly in
writing
the
this
spirit of
rule,
the
but he
game.
won't count votes from other people that have guest
I've-
hosted on the
that's right.
podcast.
I've backtracked for that.
Oh, have
it's all-
you?
yeah.
You've put that on the additional votes in?
Anyone want to
Hear
write a
that, Kate?
few votes in the bloody chat, I'll put them in too. So
How do you quietly achieve and get a vote?
Well, you only,
we only
got
got one
vote.
vote.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, right.
It was a game that was worthy of a vote. He got 34 freaking possessions,
Yeah.
but we didn't notice it.
We really didn't. Sam, who have you got?
I gave it to Hinge.
Yeah.
9 marks, 24 disposals. I thought it was just a good game. It's not like he was under much pressure, but I just liked what he did.
Cool. I gave it to Luke Nankervis. 1, because it was his 21st birthday, and also because he just, a little slippery eel, Nank, and he took a couple of clutch marks. That chase down, obviously, of Ryan with the smother was really great. He had a really good game, I thought.
Hendo said he gave his quiet achiever to Burgess, 3 goal assists and a goal for himself. I thought, Burgess was all right.
Yeah.
I thought about him and I didn't go there just purely because it wasn't a big game against, and it was obviously a very easy opposition. And I know we've been critical of that to start with, but it was good. I think if he can, I think I like him more than Himmelberg in the side.
Yeah, I haven't decided, I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't mind either way. Just get Thilthorpe back.
Yeah,
eventually.
please.
I had a few other special mentions in Rochelle. I thought Rochelle's game was pretty
Fine,
good.
yeah.
Took his opportunities, and I thought Jordan Butts was really good too. He was getting around the ball, getting in the contest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to do votes and quiet achievers and stuff in a game like this, isn't it? Because it's hard to find players that played badly that you can just knock out.
Even Berry coming on as a sub thought he had pretty good impact.
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
a lot of people were annoyed that we rested Saligo, but honestly, they clearly didn't think that West Coast we're going to play that shit. I think they thought they were going to be better than what they were. I reckon the plan was probably to take him off at 3/4 time, not half time.
Yeah.
But they just thought, fuck it, why not?
It's the first time he's played proper midfield minutes for us, and he's not the biggest body, so
That's it.
the game really didn't matter by that stage. I don't care if they want to take him off. I didn't have him in my team.
In your fantasy team.
No.
Oh my God, fantasy.
It was in my fucking multi-bed.
I was there for the game.
You would have got
And my
multi
fantasy.
money back though, wouldn't you?
No, I
off
did,
at half time.
Good old bonus bet. Thanks.
Jad also said, can Jordan Dawson teach my future kids how to football? Yeah.
Please.
That'd be nice.
I mean, he was just everywhere on Sunday, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's exactly what we needed in terms of a midfielder who can take marks down the line, because we struggle for enough players to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What's next?
Oh, pose a Crows question?
Oh.
Or pose a question, I reckon.
Yeah.
Do you have a stinger for that?
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
We haven't played that one.
All right, in
ages.
lieu of dog acts, because Dan's not here, we're going to pose a question. It's kind of Crows related, but not really. It's related to the game. And it's a controversial topic that people have been talking about over the last couple of days. To boo or not to boo? That is the question.
Yeah. Look.
We've got thoughts, people. We've got thoughts. What's your stance?
Well,
what's your general stance on booing?
I have no problem with booing, as you know. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do boo. I don't boo. It's mostly umpires. Like I don't tend to target players, generally speaking. I think if you're going to be a superstar of the game, you're obviously you're going to have to be stronger. Like booing shouldn't affect you. Like I think I hate using the words like you should be tough enough to, but I think if you're going to be a professional sports person, then being booed is not something that should affect you.
True.
I think the thing that annoys me about it all is that it lays into a bigger thing about Australians and our sort of tall poppy syndrome is the best way to explain it. Our sort of general dislike for people that sort of maybe overexceed, certainly at a younger age. Just a general, maybe population issue. And I'm not obviously saying this, everybody's in this boat. I just think there's a lot of people in this country that thinks we're very laid back.
It's a bit of an attitude problem, maybe.
Yeah. We think we're sort of laid back, cool and calm and collected, and everyone gets a shot. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced by that.
My stance on booing is I'm not a booer. Like I'm not much of a booer at all.
Yeah, so we are all different on this subject. Yeah.
I do boo bad umpiring calls, but only if it's absolutely warranted.
Yeah.
Like if it's very obvious, like the replay's gone, and it's like very obviously a free kick. That's when I'm booing. I don't really boo players. I think Lever, you can boo Lever. That's fine. Dangerfield, I don't think we should boo him anymore. Frampton, why are you booing Frampton? Like, don't do that. But,
Frampton would have stayed anyway,
if players leave on bad terms, boo them. Boo them to hell. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But I'm not much of a booer. What I didn't like about the booing of Harley Reid is that the initial boos were, yes, like the umpiring calls, that at the ground, it definitely looked like it shouldn't have gone his way. But on the replay, yeah, it was probably a free kick. That's beside the point. That's booing the umpires. But when he's like taking a set shot and booing him and they're that far behind, like, okay, if it's a close game and you're booing him and he's taking a set shot and it's like going to maybe potentially cost us the game, that's one thing. But when they're like literally 9 to 10 goals behind, why are we doing that? Like, it's kind of lame. So that's just my opinion. And, you might have seen the tweet that we sent out. It made the news. And I actually did write that tweet during that set shot because I was surprised. I was like, I just don't get it. Like, it's exactly like you said, Sam. He is a young, up-and-coming superstar of the game. I think we have no doubt that he is going to be an absolute gun in the game of football. And so to me, it kind of like is a little bit embarrassing that we would just boo a kid who's just playing for the shittest team. They're so far behind. He's trying his heart out to get his team fired up for the game. And like, I don't know. I just personally, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
People can have their opinions on it. Like, whatever. Like I just didn't like that particular booing.
It just felt it was probably more at the time of the game and everything that was the weird part about it, and it did feel watching it did feel directed. So I don't know how many people have watched the replay or who went to the game and what, but yeah, watching it on TV without obviously sitting there talking. I was watching it by myself, so I didn't really have anyone to play off, but it felt like the booing was exemplified when he was around the ball.
And I kind of leaned over to Dan Ben. I was like, why are we booing Harley Reid? Like, I don't get it. Like, he hasn't actually done anything wrong here. Like, he's just having a shot. And, people have said, oh, we boo people taking set shots all the time. I'm like, well, do we?
Well, I think
because I don't.
Well, no, I think we do though, and I think the argument was, that even the club, there was a club thing. Remember the whole 19th man? They were coming out.
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
so
that was a genuine thing.
I don't know about that. Sorry, everyone who's pointed that out to us.
I think it's pretty common for most teams. If the opposition is kicking at goal, they try and put them off with a bit of a boo. I think that's a fairly common thing, but it was louder for Reid's
Yeah.
It
kick.
did seem directed at Reid rather than a trying to gain an advantage.
And I
in
think
the
as the game
well, we
went-
didn't need an advantage.
As the game
No.
went on, there was increasing frustration at the number of free kicks
Yeah.
that were going his way, and I think it was as much at umpires as it was the player itself as the game went on, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought initially it was, but yeah, I don't know.
Adam
It's-
makes a really good point in here, and this is like basically sums it up almost perfectly. I think a lot of the problem is how much the media pump him, case in point Dwayne Russell, that it gives this perception that the young player is arrogant, fairly or unfairly, similar to Dacos.
That's very true.
It's
And
so true because
that-
you listen to Dacos talk after the game. You watch the game, and you look at him, and you're like, "Oh my god, look at this prick walking around." And then we have to look at his dad every 3 seconds in the crowd, and then you hear him talk after the game, and he couldn't be more humble. Like he seems like a really down to earth,
And
like,
that's-
normal person.
You know, some of the comments I got from that tweet that I posted on the Here We Crow account, you know, a lot of people agreed, didn't like the booing, and a lot of people thought, you know, who gives a shit? And you know, I'm a Karen and whatever, and yeah, I probably am. I'm old enough to be a Karen at this point, but you know, some of them said, "Oh, I think he's got this like arrogance about him," and I'm like, where have you seen that? And you know,
I think he's confident.
and that is exactly it. A kid does not get that good at footy without having some confidence in himself. And of course he's young. He doesn't know how to temper the confidence into what you find palatable yet.
Yeah.
And he will eventually as he gets older and he, you know, spends time with older players and, you know, has that kind of influence from around him. Like it's early days yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he is probably a very humble kid.
Yeah.
And he comes across as that in all the interviews that I've seen.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of like, you know, quick to judge him just off the fact that he's good at footy.
Lizzie said commentators salivating over him. Yeah, the Dwayne Russell during the telecast was just like it got to embarrassing
We've
levels.
reached overhype saturation well and truly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look, and I just like worry a little bit that we that the, you know, targeted or not, that some of these players are affected by it. That we won't see the best of them because they are like, you know, I don't think we're going to have that problem with Harley Reid because I think his confidence is going to carry him. But
he does get pumped up to really hard things to actually deliver on. Like the amount of times I've heard intergenerational player and whatnot. He has a bad few games and then go, well, what's happened to him? And
Yeah, exactly.
he was supposed to be so good and blah, blah, blah.
well, no fend-offs and his 15 and no goals and his 15 disposals start to look pretty poor, don't they? So it's not like, it's not like he's setting the world alight.
Yeah. No.
Other than, you know, that couple of games and a couple of really cool.
Oh, what he
things
does look very impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's not dominating for 4 quarters at this stage. He's still building into being a player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I think
it.
for me at the game, it was starting to get frustrating a little bit that he's getting rewarded by the umpires quite well, and it felt to me like he was starting to edge towards playing for those frees because he's getting that reward from the umpires.
I think he definitely was, but
I really hope he doesn't go down that track though.
Yeah.
He's a good enough player to just play properly.
Yeah.
I don't want him to turn into a Selwood where I just can't stand watching him because he just ducks for everything.
yeah.
And similar, I find personally for me, Horn Francis does a very similar thing. He gets a lot of frees from a lot of head highs or in the backs from diving and dropping as low as possible. I just would love to see a player as good as him do it without getting cheap free kicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there is an art to pulling a free kick in that way.
Well, that's what Cody Waitman said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is, and they're obviously taught it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like it's obviously part of
They're
their game.
rewarded. Like the AFL goes, well, let's not get head high hits. So we're going to penalise, and then all the players go, all right, well, let's get our head in as much danger as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we'll get a free kick, and that's what's worthwhile.
When they stop paying them, they're probably going to stop wanting to get their heads hit, I would have thought.
So-
But yeah, anyway.
And again, it's just then it becomes another perception thing, and what is a free kick and what isn't, and then it's just another grey area that we get to have. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the bottom line is we should be celebrating, you know, the great young players of the game. So, you know, they play to the best of their ability and we have superstars of the game.
And I think the only reason we're really talking up about it is because the tweet you put out seemed to gain so much traction.
Oh, God.
We got-
Yahoo News, why'd you do that to us?
but they should applaud him. It should be a similar sort of focus on that effort that Nankervis did to get that smother.
Exactly,
after
yeah.
corralling.
Yeah, absolutely.
It should be, their narrative is so blinkered. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, I know the Crows, like, you know, it's a bit like, ugh. at the moment for us, and everyone thought we were going to be better, but we were like smashing them.
Yeah,
Give us a bit of
that's
credit.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I just thought you still in the camp of prefer to be in West Coast shoes than ours?
Oh yeah, here we go.
What's this?
Here I'm mediating
Last
now.
week.
Oh yeah, no,
You remember the question?
yeah.
It was like, who would you prefer to be, West Coast or Adelaide right now?
West Coast for sure.
You still want to be West
Still
Coast?
flying. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I just
Very
want
good.
Harley Reid.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's obsessed.
Very good.
I saw a comment on TikTok. Someone reckons that Harley Reid's coming to Adelaide, guaranteed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I
"Where's
think-
your source?"
I think you felt pretty welcome on the weekend.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Love it here.
You can't wait to be part of it,
yeah.
and neither can Yo.
It's yeah, Jesus. Quirky makes a good point. I'm sick of there being an art to pulling free kicks. Meanwhile, they suffer later in life with brain injuries and sue the AFL.
Precisely.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Isn't it?
Giving them free kicks is almost negligent from the AFL. Like just paying free kicks for every head high that they're getting, it's, especially when they're dumping their head into them.
Oh, they're looking for that contact.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. Yes, it is poor.
All right. Well, we better hear from Pete because he sent us some pizzas.
Mm.
Hopefully, this thing's connected because otherwise, that'll be annoying. Oh, it's just downloading very slowly. Like very slowly.
Very slowly. We need to talk about something else in the meantime.
What about your segment? Get on with
Oh.
your segment, then we'll listen to Pete's Pizzas.
Okay. Yeah, good.
If you want to know what's in the spring, get into Rowan Jarman.
I have to admit, I almost forgot about my segment.
Yeah, same here.
I've got one good thing. The Leaker in the last quarter of the GWS match.
Yeah.
He was great. Just took a couple of huge marks. I found myself actively barracking for GWS in that game against against Geelong, obviously. And yeah, just one of the marks he took was just absolutely brilliant, which pretty much saved the game for them. So it was great. Toby Green's goal to get them in front was excellent as well. So yeah, had a lot of fun watching that game and seeing Geelong lose 4 in a row for the first time in basically forever.
Always good, isn't it?
It is.
Footwear sacrificed at half price and equipment slashed to half price. Rowan Jarman's huge half price sale. Don't miss it.
Being asked for donations at fast food restaurants.
What? Oh, at Grilled.
Yeah, well, no, like
Does
anywhere.
everyone do it now?
KFC does it too.
Do
They're
they?
asked to donate to some charity through the drive-through.
Yeah, there's a lot of places now. Do you want to round that up to
Yeah.
whatnot? I think whenever I go to a pet store, I get a similar thing. Do you want to pay,
Is that when you buy neon
give it to
Tetras?
RSPCA or something around? So, no, I hate animals.
It would be rounding up from to 20 for neon Tetras would be expensive exercise, wouldn't it? Big donation.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I always say not today.
Yeah.
Because what else are you going to say?
Well, I think it's just a big corporate tax dodgy thing, isn't it?
No
I think
doubt.
the big businesses wanting to really push donations. It has to be. Otherwise, they wouldn't bother, would they?
Surely.
Yeah.
No, they do make, it's a nice way to make you feel like a jerk by not doing it, isn't it?
Yeah. Ordered some KFC on Friday evening. So the DoorDash driver took off with it, turned his app off. So I was waiting for my order to come, and just kept getting a new driver every 10 minutes or so. And I called the support, and they were like, "Yeah, the driver's going." Anyway, he gets to the restaurant and he calls me and says, your meal's gone. It's been given, and the restaurant's not going to make you another one. So I thought, oh, that seems a bit shit. They were like, "Do you want to talk to them?" And I'm like, okay. And I could hear him going off and talking to some poor girl behind the thing in KFC.
Yeah.
And she said, "No, I'm not going to talk to him." Anyway, it was this holiday. Anyway, I went in there. I ordered online again, but I went down and picked it up because Lizzie had come home by now, so I could leave the house. And they were like, "Yeah, this has happened 4 times this week." So yeah, KFC's online ordering is just going a treat.
Oh no!
I think I'm going to get reimbursed twice, which
well, that's good.
I'll take that as a win. Anyway.
So who's taking all the meals?
The DoorDash drivers.
Oh, they just take them.
Yeah, and then turn their app off apparently, and then it just goes into this endless cycle of new drivers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I got it delivered the other day. No sweat.
Yeah, normally it's fine. Yeah. Coaches complaining about injuries when they're the ones asking more and more of each player during a game. So there's this debate's gone up again about the length of the game and the speed of the game. Mm-hmm. There needs to be more interchanges or maybe no sub 5 on the bench. And yet the coaches just sit there and tell their, full forward that he needs to run laps throughout a game. It's just crazy. You have the complete power to play this game how you want to play it.
Speaking of power, are you talking about Port Power specifically?
No, the question was posed to Craig McRae, who I actually really like. But yeah, he didn't to say what he would prefer, but certainly wasn't blaming the fact that the game is played the way that it is.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, that just sort of annoys me. Soldo's wife leaving Adelaide already, or girlfriend.
Is this good or bad?
I don't know. Which one to put it in. It's probably a good, really, isn't it? So thought I'd bring that up. The AFL,
pretty funny.
Yeah. The AFL Fantasy app letting us know that Flanders was injured after the first quarter. It already happened, so that was pretty handy.
I didn't even have the apps, and I was distracted, so missed that.
Mine let me know at 3/4 time.
Yeah. Why bother? If it's not going to be timely, why even put it through the app? What a stupid system that is.
Alert. You can't do anything about this.
Yeah, very annoying. Dawson took a good mark, and Dwayne ran with Air Dawson, despite the term being Air Jordan, and that is his name. Thought that was weird. I don't know if anyone else noticed that.
He's front barring this week, isn't he?
Who is?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, is
Dwayne.
he?
Dwayne, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Sounds terrible.
Okay, interesting.
Sam Pang might roast him, though.
I assume there'll be some discussion of his milk.
The milk will come up,
God,
yeah, for
It'll
sure.
be mostly about milk, I think.
But the worst thing was Collingwood fans complaining about the spirit of the game after the free kick in front of goals, after saying that the 24.2 metres from last week was completely legit. So I saw Young Bean bring that up in the chat earlier as well. So that's been
It was
pretty
interesting because I'd never really heard of that rule. And then they said, no, it has actually been paid a fair few times as this season, last season.
Usually a little more aggressively than that situation where there was a player that's not going to be around the ball, gives it to a midfielder that is going to be around the ball to give to the umpire while he runs away.
Well, there's
it's not wasting time, is it? It's stupid.
Well, it's not about physical time. It's about time to set yourself up in defence and whatnot. So
but let's be honest. What was it? A second?
Oh,
if that?
Yeah. There's no way Fremantle could have won because of all that time they got to set up, so they needed to give that free kick. But it's not as if it was like a absolute isolated decision. It has happened.
It has
in the last few years.
Oh yeah, no, it's rule.
Probably just about as consistent as how often they pick up people for running too far.
Well, that's the whole point of my bad, Ben. Yes, so. And I know you want to defend it because you hate Collingwood so much.
No, I just think if one team suddenly gets a rule gets one not go their way after the previous week of saying how, that was fair enough for Rankin.
Yeah.
It's hard to have sympathy for them. And it's also amazing how hard it is to win a game when, 50-50 calls don't go your way late in the game. It's also Collingwood.
Here we go.
Well, everyone's like, this is going to stop. The umpire has stopped us getting top 4 this year or whatnot. They were still in the lead by, 7 or 8 points after that goal was kicked, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's not as if that gave Fremantle the lead.
No.
And that free did not make Fremantle kick 5 of the last 5 goals.
Yeah. It was 7 points because then the defender kicked the goal.
Yeah.
And then the point from Sharp. Yeah.
That's right. So it wasn't actually in as crucial a time as we've been shafted so many times. So suck it up.
Good when he gets serious like that.
Why is he mad, Ben?
He's grumpy. He's tired. He's tired.
I am very tired.
He's letting it out.
It was a very bad sleep last
you
night.
feel like you feel like you got a weight off your shoulders after that.
Well, I'm done. I'll see you guys later.
All right, are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
All right, Pete's Pizzas. Here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome to Pete's Pizzas. Thanks again to the Here We Crow crew for giving us all a platform to celebrate together. So I'm going to give you 3 takeaways to chew on after an emphatic 99-point shellacking of the hapless Eagles on Sunday night. First up, I'm talking about quarters. First quarters. Jordan Dawson's first quarter was incredible. He stamped his authority on the game from the first minute and wasn't putting up with any shenanigans from the opposition. He put his foot down with 10 kicks and 2 goals and then continued that form for the rest of the game. Our captain was clearly our best on ground for the match. So well done to Jordan Dawson. I'm rewarding you with a large double meat diced ham and pepperoni pizza topped with olives and mozzarella cheese. Second, I'm still talking about quarters. 4 quarters. Finally, we have seen our team put in a complete 4-quarter performance. So I've cooked up an extra large supreme pizza and I've cut it into 4 quarters for the team to feast upon. Well done. And lastly, I'm talking about apricots. Yes, we're all very happy to see our team pummel a lowly opponent into the turf, but I'm still a little cautious. So I've made a dessert pizza and topped it with apricots, and I'm giving it to Mavis and the rest of the apricot slice brigade. Let's see if we can repeat this very good performance against Hawthorn on Saturday afternoon at the G. I'll see you there. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks,
I was
Pete.
taking apricot pizza.
Yeah, it sounds
Yum.
all right. Yeah, I had to take some photos of some dessert pizzas last week. It was good.
Really?
They looked pretty tasty.
Oh, that actually like an apricot and like goat's cheese kind of pizza would actually be really good.
Yeah.
At risk of getting attacked again this week, all this talk of quarters, I was dead set sure he was going to say the old quattro formaggio.
I was going to say the same thing,
The
except
four
I told
cheese.
you off for doing it last week, so I wasn't going to do it.
I was like, but no,
Yeah,
there you go.
the 4 cheeser. All right,
Yum.
we need to go back to the normal screen. All
Yes. What are we going to do
right.
now?
I don't know. What are we going to do now?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
we
Social
haven't-
media?
Yeah, should we do some social? I guess
Yeah.
so. I think that's all we got. Oh, Bozza. We got Bozza
Oh,
too.
yeah,
We-
Bozza's
we do have a
lectures.
game coming up.
Yeah, we
this
should
week.
talk
and we'll
about
talk
the
about the
game as
game,
well.
obviously. Yeah. Normally, yeah. I guess we're there.
Out of bounds on the full.
You might have noticed we haven't had enough in a little while. That's because we're slack.
We've been lazy.
Doing this live podcast, man, it's hard. It's
It's-
hard to
it's
get
a-
people.
It is a lot more effort.
Yeah.
This, compared to what we were doing before,
So
so we're struggling.
If you're finding that our content's lacking, it's all your fault.
yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
And I'd suggest that maybe we haven't all collectively had the easiest of years thus far.
No,
Oh,
that's
it
true.
has been a shit show, hasn't it? Anyway, let's get into it. Have you got some Instagram?
I got a couple from Instagram. I got Digger, the cringe factor when Crows fans boo a young star from Eagles. Be better. Hawks to put a fork in our chances of a revival. Rob continues to be a major worry. Yes, I agree. Hawks this week is obviously a huge game for our season.
Digger, are you saying we're not going to beat the Hawks?
It does look that way.
Come
yes.
on, mate.
Yep. And Rob continues to be a major worry. Yeah, 9 possessions, 3 marks in that game on the weekend. Yes, he got a ton of hit-outs again. But, yeah, look, we are absolutely dying for a young quality ruckman.
I'd argue that 9 possessions is enough possessions.
Well, yeah, but the fact is that we don't want the ball in his
kicked a
hands is
goal.
not a good reason.
You kicked a goal, Sam. Didn't
Yeah.
you just scream when did you like launch off the couch when that happened?
I got videos from friends and stuff as it goes through, like laughing about it.
I told Dan and Lauren this is something I can tell my grandchildren. I saw in person.
Also, Dwayne Russell running with it was never in doubt as the ball went through. It was like, hang on a minute.
No,
It's
it absolutely was in doubt.
You never hear the crowd like it was when like 40,000 people were sitting there murmuring, going, "There's no way this is going through."
I swear, in a recent game, someone said that he's a good set shot.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
That was in commentary, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 100% a couple of weeks ago.
Who the hell
Yep.
is this person, and have they ever seen a Crows game?
Yeah, no good. I looked. On the Rob thing, I watched. They really highlighted what Tom DeConing, who plays for Carlton, who's taken a load of the ruck in the last game.
I think that's the right DeConing.
His after the ball hits the groundwork, my God, it is like chalk and cheese with Riley O'Brien. We desperately need a ruckman like that.
Did you hear Rue kind of giving him shit on the broadcast? Apparently,
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I noted. Yeah, it was noted. Dwayne kept talking him up, or at least saying positive things, and Rue was really quite not rude. I wouldn't say rude, but he was very like
humbling,
dismissive of what he was saying. Yeah, it was really quite noticeable. It was almost like I think maybe internally Rob came under a bit of scrutiny last week after that game. So or the week before. And maybe that was why Strawn got named as like in the emergency, or not, probably was never going to play, but just a
Yeah.
little
I swear to
Yeah,
God, they're
you're
just
not
trying to
bulletproof,
placate
yeah.
us with the Strawn naming him in the team.
Oh, that was never going to happen if Rob plays, of course. But I don't know. You could definitely sense something in Rashudo's voice that he wasn't. That it hasn't been all happy.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
One more from Instagram. Richie McRicho. If Saligo is okay, do we just go in unchanged? Settled if working is unusual territory, but good.
Yeah, I can't see us going in unchanged, to be honest. it's unfortunate for Curtin, who probably won't come back into the side this week.
Yeah.
But
probably would be a nice game to get him to Melbourne out in the MCG, really. But
it would be, but I feel like we'll just save him for the Richmond game, to be honest.
I reckon if Murphy hadn't already been out, he looked pretty banged up several times in the game. So, but he's only played a couple games back, so it's unlikely they'd rest him.
I'm surprised he stayed on the ground after he got hit that first time because he
looked dead.
Stupid English language. He stayed on the ground quite a while after he got hit. So, that was a weird one. I thought he was for sure going off a concussion test.
He does have a little bit of a tendency to kind of do that playing dead thing, don't you think, Murphy?
Like the Dawson showdown goal.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. He has had that neck injury. He's probably just being cautious, like doesn't want to get up too quickly or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it does like make you panic as a fan when you're watching. You're like, oh god,
Yeah.
Please get up.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Got anything else?
That's all from Instagram.
All right, I've got some text messages. I think from Jaden. Brilliant performance tonight from the boys. Everybody played their role. Can't fault any of them. Thought they all genuinely went out there with a good attitude, and it showed in the football. There is one negative. Adelaide Football Club are front runners for the services of Elliot Yeo for $1.3 million a year. I swear to God, Adelaide, if you're actually serious about this, I will fly down to Adelaide, drive to Theban Oval and plant 500 trees in the middle of that bitch. Try me. I dare you to try me and see how serious I am about this. I will turn into the most hippie tree-hugging motherfucker you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then we've got another one. This has got to do with trading and, offering some free agents some money. If we're going to throw money around this off-season, which by all reports we are preparing to do, that $1.3 million per year could be spent improving the team across the ground instead of on a single injury-prone player who's fallen off a cliff. A few names to maybe throw out there based on free agent end of 2024. McCluggage, Banfield, Koladashnij.
Perfect.
Did he do this for me? Was it?
Just
no?
spot on. Couldn't have got that any more correct, I reckon.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, it's Kolajasny.
Oh, that was pretty close.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Come on. I'm like, this is the first time I've read this message. I didn't even practice it. Give me a break. Ben Ainsworth, Isaac Cumming, Cam Zerha. I was playing with you. Josh Battle. There is a player who is a star that we have been reported to be right up there at the top of clubs chasing him, and that's Luke Davis Uniacke. Uniac. Uniac. I know that one.
I actually don't know if it's Uniac or Uniacke.
It's LDU. It's LDU.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been a good time, hasn't it? You want to throw $1.3 million a year at him? Fine, go for it. Not Elliot fucking Yeo.
Yes, agree with that.
Thanks for testing my pronouncing Jaden. Thank you.
I'm impressed.
I think he did that to take the piss.
Oh, I'm assuming Jane probably had to look up how that was spelt. I'm assuming before he sent it too.
Oh,
That's
God.
a tough one. Yeah.
Forgive me, everyone.
Yeah. You got Boz there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just one quick
Should
thing.
we talk about the game first?
We're talking about, splashing the cash on fancy players or free agents. It's not coming in this year where you can basically just splash the cash for draft picks? Because that's what they're talking about being the next thing where you basically you take over salary cap from other teams and then you can get a
They're
low
definitely
pick.
talking about it, but I don't reckon it'll be this year.
That would be just wonderful for us at the moment. If we could just use cash that we're not using at the moment, get someone like a Sid Draper.
Yes. Yeah.
But obviously it'll come in once it's not useful for us.
Yeah, it usually is. Yeah. And obviously we have to play it smart because we've
got players who will be worth more than what they are now.
Yeah, that's it exactly. Which they should obviously have our list under control and what we're doing with there.
But if you can do a salary cap purchase for the next year or two, then that's off, and you can start paying people properly again.
Yeah, absolutely. We might have to get Sensible Crow in. He released a podcast today, people. If you haven't listened to it yet either.
If you want mid-season draft stuff. That's the podcast to go to. It ain't this one.
We'd love to talk about it, and we will talk about whoever we pick up. But we're not going to pretend we know about any of these.
And I'd love to talk about the podcast, but my antique podcast server it doesn't hit up.
Doesn't
come
grow
on
anymore?
It doesn't come into my feed. Everything else seems to still be
Yeah.
coming in, but the last two sensible crows I haven't seen come through.
That's because he was looking at the stats and there was only one person downloading, so he just couldn't be bothered uploading it to that one anymore.
All right, fair enough.
Oh my God. Well, I forgot. I was going to say something and I forgot what it is now. So should we talk about the game against Hawthorn before we get into Bozza's selections?
Yes. I'm going, so you better bloody win. I'm not even going to act all.
Apparently, Meek might be out, which means that Rob might be able to have another
50 hit outs,
amazing
and
game.
9 disposals. Yeah, great.
But other than that, without enough, I've got no idea. Who's your Dennis Armfield, Ben?
All right. Well, I'll give you some stats and then an Armfield.
Okay.
Because he wants the stinger.
Yeah.
No, it's just how it's done.
We should play the stinger.
So they've had 3 wins. They've beaten the Bulldogs. Their best win was this weekend against Brisbane, and they've also beaten St Kilda, who I think they're going in as not favourites against West Coast this weekend.
Yeah, that is true. Yes,
What
that
Saints
is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Saints are terrible.
Geez, that's you'd be feeling bad about that.
I don't know who to tip.
A lot of their stats are pretty middle of the road, although a bit like West Coast, they're pretty low for possession counts. So they're only like 15th for kicks, 11th for handballs, and contested marks, they're pretty bad as well, 15th for that as well. So they are a side a bit like West Coast who they've had a few good games, but they've had some really rubbish games as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And hopefully we get another rubbish game from them this week.
Yeah. The only thing that I think that, has me worried is that they've only obviously won, they lost the week before, but that was to Port and they shouldn't have lost.
They should not have lost. That is another thing. If we get down by a certain amount, we're still a chance till quite late in the game.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And obviously demolished Brisbane on the weekend. Demolished maybe not. Brisbane came right back at them in that third quarter and looked like they were just going to take over. And Hawthorn did a really nice job of steadying because I think as an outsider looking in, I had no faith that Hawks were going to continue on and win that game.
No,
certainly by 25 points.
And I think similar to West Coast, the one thing I didn't mention about the game earlier was what we didn't do, which I was really worried about, was just kicking down the line and getting McGovern and Barrask marking. And that would have been a way that we could have been losing that game. Similar with Hawthorn, they do have some intercepting defenders.
Yeah.
We need to play the way we need, which is, getting those small kicks, then back into the corridor, then in.
Yeah.
None of this down the line stuff, because Sicily, if he's given free rein, he'll just mark the buggery out of the ball. So
that Giath's a good mark too.
Yeah,
really
he goes all right.
mark.
So, and they've had Will Day come back, which I think has made a difference for their midfield.
He's a good player, isn't he?
So, so they're not rubbish. We just hope they are this weekend.
Yeah, I think they're just that team, aren't they, that are on the cusp of potentially becoming good.
Like us?
Well, I feel like we should be a couple of years ahead of them, but I feel like they're winning a couple of games. Like, I don't know, they sort of. We should probably be 2 or 3 years ahead of them, but it doesn't really feel like that.
I think the other thing is they know how to play against us.
Yeah.
Like that showed last year when we got that real narrow win down in Launceston. They just pressured us.
Yeah.
And we looked sloppy.
Yeah.
I mean, there was long shadows, as we talked about.
Long shadows.
Last year, yes. The sun is very low down there.
Yeah.
But they did put a lot of pressure. And if they do that against us again and we don't cope with it, we are at a fair old risk of going quite poorly.
Did you mention Hardwick? He's another player that I feel like could really...
You just have it in for that Gold Coast coach, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. No, but he's the type of player that could really... Him playing forward this year, which has been super effective. I feel like he's one of those players that really could cause us some grief.
Yeah, and more as well, I think.
More,
forward.
They're sort of like nuggety forward, aren't they? They can play a little bit taller than probably their height. But, yeah, Hardwick's look good up forward. I know he's normally a defender, but...
A player like Ginnivan can have big days.
Yeah.
We don't want him to have a big day.
Well, yes, exactly. We don't want to give him a platform, do we? So, yeah. Yes, I don't know. Interesting. Should we go Boz?
Yep. Might take 10 years to download, hopefully.
Oh, okay. Well, Ben, do you want to do... Let's do this first.
Give the kick to Dennis. So we're right behind him, and the Carlton fans are right behind him. Once, twice, 3 times.
Oh, look at that.
Yes! He's the master blaster.
I'd just like to say, how good is my form with picking the outfield at the moment? I went with McRae for Collingwood. He got dropped the next game. I went with Luke Edwards for this game. He didn't even make the game.
Play.
So I am red hot. So let's see how we go with this one. So I wasn't sure really. Up forward, I thought there's a real youngster coming through in that Cowshear Deer.
Yeah.
He could have his breakout. He's been okay, but serviceable. But yeah, he could kick a fair few goals. And down back, I reckon he'd be one of the maligned players for Hawthorn, a bit like we have our own in Sam Frost.
Oh, yeah.
I think his disposal efficiency is they do not like him kicking the ball at all.
No.
But he could have a little bit of a blinder and actually kick the ball well for a game.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's fair. Couple of good comments in here. Young Bean, Reeves versus Rob is going to be interesting. And the Hawks are sort of Brisbane's bogey side. Yeah, that's an interesting stat, that. Hawks haven't lost to Brisbane in is it 5 years or something? It's a ridiculous stat considering Brisbane's been so good.
And similarly, they match up well on us. Even when they're not good, they still find ways to beat us.
Yeah, for sure.
Or get very close.
And I think a little bit playing into that is that I don't think Hawthorn's gone to the Gabba in a long time. Or very, very rarely goes to the Gabba. So saw that floating around on Twitter somewhere as well. Quirky also put up an interesting comment we might be able to discuss is I think Sam Mitchell is a much better coach than Nicks. Thoughts? I think
I can't comment. I don't know.
I reckon I think I appreciate Sam Mitchell's style more than I appreciate Nicks's style. I don't necessarily know if he's a better tactician in the box.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I like that he tries stuff though, and I like what they've done with the side.
He presents himself as a harder edge.
Yeah.
And that probably appeals to supporters, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Young Bean also said Sam Frost has been good this year, so you've been challenged.
I still feel like he'd be a bit of a whipping boy for Hawthorn.
All right. Do we hear from Bozza?
Yeah, let's hear from Boz.
Good evening, people. Selections for round 12. Here we go again. Seems like this is the deja vu Crows. Win the easy ones. Tough game at the G this week against not a good team, but a team that's playing some good football and a good young team. Fully expecting a giant reversal in form. Norm Judas Gunston, 250th this week at the MCG. Hawks by 7 points. Selection's easy this week, no changes. Switch in the subs. Smith to sub, Berry to start. It looked good when he came on, so that was impressive. Show impressed me, but let's be honest, do it versus someone decent, and then we can start to talk. That's it for this week. Thanks, guys. Speak to you next week.
Thanks, Boz.
Bozza. No changes.
No changes.
His man Cookie's doing a great job. Hey, Nick Murray's back in the SANFL this week. That's some good news. I reckon he'll be back for the what game did I say? Richmond. What's after that? Sydney game.
I
reckon he'll be back in full flight. Hey?
Pre-buy, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon. Yep. What say you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I'm looking forward to him coming back.
Who comes out for him though? That's the question.
But
from this week's team, Borlase would make way.
Oh yeah, true.
For sure.
Yep. We done?
We're done. Yeah. Well, who do you tip for the weekend?
I don't know. I don't think I've got a tip right this week because I just tip like an idiot. But let's go with.
You did tip the Eagles.
Yeah,
last
I did.
week.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So, do I jinx us or not? Do I go the reverse? Because I really do want us to win this week.
I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. I think they listen. Crows by 3 goals.
Ben?
27-point win.
I'm going to say 35-point win.
Oof.
Yeah, I reckon we're going to carry this momentum.
Yeah.
That we've got. And because we play pretty good on the MCG.
Yeah.
I think we might shock them a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we played well against Collingwood there, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, realistically, this is the first time we've had a really big win since the North game, but we haven't had terrible weeks prior to that. We just haven't been getting the results that we need to be getting.
No, that's right.
Our form isn't woeful.
No, it's not.
So
I'm confident.
If we can keep it up, we should be able to beat these guys.
Hawks haven't won at the G.
Where did
they played at Etihad on the weekend, or Marvel?
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, that was Young Bean as well.
Interesting.
Young Bean needs to come on.
When I heard something
Young
about
Bean,
we
thanks for all the
haven't won at the
hot
G
tips.
since 17.
We haven't.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. How
We
many
don't,
games have
it's
we
not
played?
many games.
No,
but
probably only 5 or 6 games. Yeah. So,
Well, fingers crossed, everyone, because otherwise we're in a hole. We're in the hole of middling.
Oh, we're done if we lose this week.
Yeah.
Pack it all in. Podcast is packed in.
Okay.
Everything's done.
Take the year off.
All just for draft picks. Just lose. We're done.
You're coming back for the women's?
Depends if they're any good.
I wonder who our women's captain's going to be.
Old Fairweather podcaster over there.
Yeah.
Oh, it says here at the start of the year. He only came in for the wins.
Mid-season draft is... When is the mid-season draft? Is it this week or next week?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, my God, it's tomorrow. Well, we'll be chatting about our picks
We'll have a
next
second
week, no
Murray,
doubt.
do we think?
Yeah, probably likely, I would have thought. Yeah. So...
Yay!
Yeah, he looked all right. I think he looks all right.
He can play ruck. That's nice.
That would be... Imagine if we did that. I'd be all over that.
Australian first ruck. How old is he?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Are you talking about Toby Murray still?
Yes.
Not sure it'll be straight into the ruck going by some of the comments I saw floating around today, but we can dream.
He played one good game up forward, but then he's been reasonably flat since then in the two.
You'd
Looked
think
all right.
he'd take time to develop, you'd think.
Yes, he's a project sort of player, I would have thought. Yeah.
We love a good project.
We do.
All right. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back. Actually, not next week. Sorry, everyone, because shit's going down.
I'm going to
Not
Melbourne.
really.
I'm going on holiday.
Sam's
no
going
one
to
else
Melbourne.
can do it.
And I'm poor, so I can't afford Adobe Edition to record any of this. So,
So if there's any sponsors out there that want to help us out with this podcast,
maybe
feel
like
free.
Domino's,
Well,
by proxy of Pete's Pizzas.
maybe they could sponsor Pete's segment.
Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know, like O'Neill's
Yeah.
could get us some sports gear
Or
and
we're
also
happy to
pay for
Okay,
something.
KFC, Kate said.
KFC, that would be ideal.
That would be ideal. I think we need something local. We need some locals. Anyone's got a local business that we could plug? That'd be good.
Yeah, we're not asking for much.
No, we don't really need much at all.
Just like a dinner once a month and what else do we need to pay for?
Maybe Adobe for you.
Adobe, yeah. Adobe.
Yeah.
And maybe the hosting.
Hosting.
We can't start a Patreon because we can't offer you anything.
Maybe just a few seedlings for my backyard.
Oh, okay, Ben. Well,
righto.
it's not a rider.
Oh, yeah, Fedorless on board.
It's all part of the content.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on Here We Crow. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to wrap up our Hawks game and preview the Richmond game. We'll be previewing the
Sydney game. Yes.
Fuck.
We will.
Seems like an age away.
I
Can't
know.
wait to see us then.
Thanks, team.
Bye, guys.